Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am barefaced today, and that is because we are going to do my Boxycharm unboxing, and I am super stoked because you guys already know what's in the box. I'm just kind of going to go through it real quick for those of you who may not necessarily be familiar with what's inside the box as well as prices, and then we're going to move right on to a try on because I have been like anxiously waiting to try some of these products, so that's what we're going to do today. I have no idea what I got. I mean, in terms of like the variation, which seems to have only been the lippy. Okay. What does it smell like? Nail polish. Moving forward, so I have no makeup on because, as most of you may know, we got a primer in this box, and I am antsy to give that one a try. We got the Cover FX. This is actually a little bigger than I thought because this is a 1 ounce primer, and this is a 1 ounce. No, actually they're kind of the same. I guess the cap is a little different. So we have the Cover FX primer. We also got the, my little sticker is kind of funky. Maybe the glue is what smells funny. So my sticker's kind of funky, but it's okay. I'm not mad at it. We got the Pretty Bulgur jar of gel liner, which I think it's cute. You can't really see much. It's kind of like a really deep, the product is really deep in there. You are aware we got a brush. I was actually really interested in giving this brush a try. This is the Aesthetica P12. It's actually a really big brush. Now when I look at it, and mine is like all kind of funky and sideways, but the best way to fix this is honestly you can just wet it a little bit and then reshape it, and then once it dries you've got like the perfect shape. So I'm not even mad at the shape. I think it's because the box is such a small box compared to how like big this is, so I think it was kind of like this, but it's okay. It's okay. We got our 3 brushes. We've got a spoolie, we've got an angled liner brush, which seems like really nice, and it's also very soft. And then we've got a thin liner brush, which is what I think I'm gonna actually use for my eyes. I generally don't use these type of brushes for my liner. I'm gonna give it a try, but I generally don't like these. I use these more so for my brows to fill those in. And we got the palette, the contour and highlight palette. I always drop things on the floor, don't mind me. As per usual, their packaging is super cute, and this is called the Pure Sculptor palette. And as per usual with Pure, it has a sticker, it's sealed. So this is what the palette, okay, the little insert came on. This is what the palette looks like. It comes with a mirror, and you get, wow, these smell good. I don't know if it's just me, but they kind of smell like chocolate a little bit. It might just be me, but you have 2 highlighters, and then you have 2 bronzers, and these bronzers actually look pretty dark, so we will see how that would work with my skin tone. But this is a really nice palette. And this is the lippy that I got. It is actually a lip gloss. This is the All Natural Lip Gloss by Han Skincare Cosmetics, and my shade is Nude Rose. I'm not big on lip gloss. I have used lip gloss. I don't necessarily gravitate toward lip gloss just because usually my hair gets up in here, and I'm just not a lip gloss person, but I don't mind getting lip glosses and trying new brands out. So we're gonna get right into the try on and see how these things work. We are getting up close and personal right now, guys. So this is the Cover FX primer. This is what the primer looks like. Doesn't really smell like much of anything, and it has a little bit of tint. You guys tell me if you notice any blurring of my imperfections, because I'm looking at the viewfinder right now because my mirror, I don't want it to be in the way. So it totally went onto my skin, and it feels like nothing, not even like a powder. It just feels like I did nothing to my skin, which is great because sometimes you don't want to feel like you put stuff on your face. So this feels really nice. In looking at my skin after applying my foundation as well as my concealer, I'm noticing that the texture bumps that I had here have been reduced just a little bit. It looks a little smoother, and then I do have like my enlarged pores here. They're not super large and like they're not really noticeable, but to me they are, and it just looks super flawless here, almost like I face tuned it. But this is video, so obviously I did not face tune. It is a stick foundation. It's not like a liquid formula, but it did glide on my skin when I blended it, almost like I was applying a powder. That generally doesn't happen with every single primer, so I feel like this primer kind of helped it blend really nicely. I literally felt like I put a powder on, and it feels like a powder. It feels different with this primer as a base. The next thing I want to use from the box is this Pure sculpting palette. In the event that they're too dark for your skin because you're extremely fair, or they're not dark enough for your skin because you're a deeper skin tone, it's perfectly fine. You can definitely multitask this and kind of use it for smoky eye, neutral eye. You can definitely play around with this palette. So if it doesn't work for sculpting, you can definitely use it as an eyeshadow palette. I'm going to give you guys a quick swatch of the dark tones. I know you guys are extremely excited to see what that looks like. So let's see how deep these are. Well, they really are buttery. You know what? They look darker on the pan. They might just work if you're really light-handed. So, but look how much pigmentation is still left on my fingers. This is insane. And then I guess you guys want to see the highlighters, right? So I'll go ahead and swatch those for you guys as well. These look really nice. So I'm going to swatch these for you guys. They are really pretty. Because this one here, even though on the swatch it doesn't look too dark, I don't want to go too deep on the eyes. So I'm going to use a fiber brush real quick. Just be careful because it looks like there may be some kick up. I don't mind kick up if the pigmentation is there. If you've been following me for a while, you know I'm not that picky about kick up as long as pigment is there. And then I'm just going to apply this all over my crease. Let's see, you know, this does smell like chocolate. It smells like chocolate. So I am going to blend this color all over my crease. See, so you can definitely just create a very like everyday natural look if you wanted to with this palette. As you can see, I literally just used one color and it looks good already. I am just gonna be me, and I'm going to tap into this really pretty kind of gold color. This is like the darker one. It's not very vanilla. And I'm going to apply that all over my lid for some sheen. Give it some pop. Then, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't try every single color in a palette, I'm gonna tap into the darker color really quickly, and I'm just gonna try to smoke out the outer ends just a tad bit. So as I usually do, just tap it in place and blend out a little bit. And then with the same brush, I'm gonna use the lighter highlighter. You can use a pencil brush. This is the one I have in front of me right now. And I'm just going to brighten my inner corner just a tad bit. That is how I would use this palette for the eyes. It's super pretty, right? In order to kind of finish up with the palette, I'm going to kind of contour bronze my face. Let's see how that works. I'm going to stick to using the lighter color just because the darker one seems a little too dark for me, and I'm slightly afraid of what may or may not happen. Oh wow, it picks up really well. Okay, so if you're afraid that this is gonna be too dark, just tap it into place and then tap excess out, and then just build the color. Well, I'm glad I went with this color. Oh wow, that's okay. So I'm not gonna add any more product because obviously that's more than enough. And I'm going to blend. You know, it looks harsher on camera, but it's really not too dark. This is what the lighter bronzer looks like on my skin. It looks pretty good actually. I feel like it looks a little off, but that's because I don't have blush and highlighter. So I'm gonna go ahead, put that on, and I'll be right back. Now this is what it looks like with some highlighter and a little bit of blush. It actually looks really good. I actually really like it. I like that it smells nice. Now we're gonna go into the other item, which seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm gonna try this gel liner. I'll show you how far in you kind of have to go in order to touch product. So here's your brush, and that's how far in right there. So you're kind of going in halfway through your furrow and the brush in order to kind of get some product. I'm also going to do a swatch for you guys so you can see how dark and pigmented the product is. And this is what it swatches like. That is crazy. That is really pigmented, and I think it dries matte. They're saying, so I'll let you know, but they're saying that it's like extremely pigmented. Be super careful, and it dries really quickly. So we're going to go on in and play around with this baby and see how it works. So this is what the eye looks like using this brush. As you can see, I made a freaking mess. I'm gonna be honest, even though this worked for me, I kind of know what I'm doing. So what I would advise you to do, if you know what you're doing, use this one. If you don't know exactly what you're doing and you feel like you need to practice, this is an amazing opportunity to practice, but I would suggest you play around with the thinner brush instead. The formula is really good and it dries matte. I kind of like this thicker wing for a second. And with that angled brush, it's hard to get into the inner corners. And I really like a very thin inner corner, so that kind of didn't work for what I like to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do the same thing I did here, but with the other brush. Here's where the difference in the brushes lies. So as you can see, this edge right here is not as sharp and crisp. That is an easy fix. That it's not a big deal. Just go in with some concealer, clean it up, and it'll be nice and crisp. But then in this edge, look at that pointy, and it's beautiful and it's effortless. And I used this brush right here. And then we're gonna give this lippy a try. This is supposed to be the lip gloss. And it seems really pigmented. Again, the name of it is Nude Rose. I'm not going to put anything underneath. I want to see what it looks like on my bare lips. This is what the lip gloss looks on my lips. To be honest, I kind of like it. It's not a really sticky lip gloss. It has some pigment, so it's perfect for anyone who wants a kind of natural look or just doesn't really like a lot of lipstick. This is really pretty because it just gives you a hint of color without overdoing it. It's a lip gloss. It doesn't feel super slippery, but at the same time, it's not sticky, but it's glossy. I like this. And it smells like vanilla a little bit. Here is my verdict. I actually really enjoyed everything in the box. The only thing that I did not use was the spoolie, and I feel like I don't need it just because I have several spoolies. So I am gonna forward this one to my sister just because she's like real big on making sure her brows look correct at all times. And then my favorite product in the box is this Pretty Vulgar gel liner. Yes, it is messy. Until you kind of get used to it, and I don't know, I love how pigmented, I love how extremely creamy it is. I've had gel liners that once you apply on the lid, it kind of starts to skid and your line does not look perfect. I did not have that problem with this one. Super creamy, glides like butter, dried super quickly, but you can still move it and kind of play around with it and perfect your wing. So I really like it. And then the packaging is just bomb. So my favorite product so far in the box. Okay guys, that is a wrap for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. This is the video where I said I was gonna show you guys a surprise, and here is the surprise. I was able to snag an extra box for you guys. Yes, I ordered an extra box just for you guys. I am gonna go ahead and do a giveaway on this channel. May not be a huge giveaway, but I'm actually really excited because I know a lot of people may or may not have access to the box. So if you have access to the box, then guess what? You get extra products, so you'll have backups. And if you don't get access to the box, at least you get an opportunity to give these items a try. So it's kind of win-win whichever way that we look at it. I have to give credit to one of my subscribers. I am gonna put her information down in the description box. I hope you don't mind. I just can't think of her like account name offhand, but she did say, hey, you know, she gave me an idea. It wasn't specifically this, but I was like, you know what? I haven't done a giveaway in a while, so I'm just gonna go ahead, order an extra box. These are the rules. So if you check in the description box, I did create a Google Doc. You are to click on that link if you want to sign up for the giveaway for a chance to win. All you really have to do is make sure you give me your information. You have to reside in the United States. Unfortunately, this is not international. I cannot do international at this point today. Maybe in the future, but not today. Also, you need to be subscribed to my channel and following me on Instagram. So just fill out all those fields in that Google document, click submit, and basically your entry will be tracked. This giveaway will close as of Monday the 21st of May, so you guys have a full week to sign up and make sure your entries are in. That is a wrap for this video, you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I actually had a lot of fun. And I feel like I smell like chocolate. As always, my social media platforms will be right here for you guys to go and follow me there. And my subscribe button is right here. I make it super convenient for you guys to just click and subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you click the bell button down below. YouTube will let you know every single time that I upload a video. I'm including a few videos you can just click on if you want to continue to enjoy my content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.